is going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining me right here on your Monday night. This is May 2nd, 2022. I am your host, Phil, and of course, this is Outside the Brand. Thank you so much for joining me on your Monday nights, wherever you may be. This Sunday is WrestleMania Backlash. I don't know if you guys knew that already. I don't know if you guys were aware of that or not. But it's true. This Sunday is the pay-per-view known as WrestleMania Backlash. And what did WWE do to prepare us for anything that's going to be happening on that show on Sunday? Absolutely nothing. Nothing of importance happened on that show tonight, and Raw was an absolute bore fest. Raw was absolutely 100% boring, and there is nothing anybody can do or say that'll make me change my mind. When it comes to the Raw previews for my TikTok, I go on WWE.com, and when I found out that the only announcement that they had for the Raw preview tonight was that the Bloodline was going to be showing up on Monday Night Raw, I knew something was up. I knew something was going wrong, and I knew something. I knew nothing was prepared for the show tonight, because you only have one segment announced on your entire WWE.com article about the preview for Monday Night Raw tonight. There's a major problem when it comes to that. This show reeked of absolute boredom tonight, and like I said, there's nothing that anybody can do or say that will make me change my mind. This show sucks, and there's nothing. There's nothing that anybody can say that'll dispute me otherwise. This show sucked. The Bloodline show up tonight, and honestly, that was a complete waste of everyone's time too. It was so paint by numbers. It was so cookie cutter. The Bloodline comes out, they have all their championships, they do their thing. Roman does this whole acknowledge me this, acknowledge me that, and then what happens? RK Bro shows up, they RKO the Usos. McIntyre shows up, he tries to Claymore Roman, but he escapes by just a hair, because you know that he can't hit the Claymore before WrestleMania Backlash. This segment was terrible. The segment was bad. And this show was terrible. It was so bad. It was so boring tonight. Such a boring start and such a boring way to continue on into the show. What else happened on the Raw before WrestleMania Backlash tonight? Not much. Seth and Cody had some exchange of words tonight, which is cool. I like Cody. I like Seth. I like both of them. Those guys are great. But WrestleMania Backlash is nothing more than WrestleMania rematches and a few feuds here and there. It's WrestleMania rehash, and it's just legitimately WrestleMania rematches. And I can't honestly be excited about this show. I really can't. But regardless, Kevin Owens, he was still trying to figure out, and he was still trying to tell everybody that Ezekiel is not who he says he is, and that he is, in fact, Elias. And they had a 6-man tag match tonight, which did absolutely nothing. And they teamed up with 2 tag teams that legitimately, when I see them on my television screen, I want to poke my eye out with a pencil, because I see them so much on my television screen. I want it to stop. Get Alpha Academy and get the Street Profits off of my TV. I shouldn't say that though, actually, because considering that those two and RK Bro are the only tag teams on Monday Night Raw, that would only leave RK Bro as the only tag team on Monday Night Raw. So I guess I really can't say that. I mean, just get them away from each other. I can't see another Street Profits versus Alpha Academy match. Again, I can't. It's legitimately fucking disgusting about how bad this tag team division really is. This tag team division is so fucking bad. It's not even funny. We would have solved all of this. We would have solved everything about the terrible tag team divisions on both Raw and SmackDown if Vince and Bruce continued on with the plan of the Unification Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania Backlash. But no, of course they have to back out like they always do. regardless, we are here to talk about Monday Night Raw tonight with all of you, and I'm glad that you guys are here to enjoy it with me, as we're going to be going over this terrible, terrible show tonight for Monday Night Raw on May 2nd, 2022. Follow me on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below, but you guys can follow me on other social media platforms at PhillyMatt_. That's Twitter and Instagram. Like I said, when it comes to TikTok, all the TikTok links are down in the description below for everybody that is associated with Outside the Brand. Myself, Loft, Megan, Saul, 1C, and pretty much everybody that is associated with Outside the Brand is in the description below. So go check that out if you have not already. Click that subscribe button down below as we are on the road to 500 subscribers. Turn on the bell for all notifications. That way you never miss when we go live. And make sure to go check out anything that you may have missed on the channel. Any of the other content that you've missed in previous weeks. It's all on the homepage for you guys to enjoy. Yesterday, we talked about the NXT releases that happened on Friday. So if you have not seen that video, go check it out. It's on the homepage of the channel. Make sure you guys support the podcast in other ways as well by going to the official merchandise store, bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise, where you can get t-shirts, hoodies, and much more on the exclusive home of Outside the Brand for bonfire.com. Finally, before we get into tonight's show, I want to thank you guys for all your love and support. We could not have done this without you. You guys are absolutely awesome. All right, guys, let's do this. We're going to get right into the show tonight. We started off with the Bloodline. We started off with the Bloodline here tonight, and like I said, it wasn't all that exciting of a segment, but we did start off with them. I like the little fact that Roman Reigns was wearing the WWE Championship around his waist instead of holding it in his hands. Usually the Universal Championship is around his waist, but this time when he was on Monday Night Raw, he wore the WWE title around his waist. The little details like that matter to me. So the main championship on Monday Night Raw is the WWE title. You wear that around your waist. And I'm glad that Roman caught that little detail, and he did that for us tonight. That was an absolutely great detail that he caught for the show tonight. So we are live with the Bloodline and Paul Heyman in tow. Once they get into the ring, Heyman welcomes us to Monday Night Raw and says that it's a very special moment where we all get to revel in the greatness of the Tribal Chief, the undisputed WWE Universal Champion on a Monday night. Reigns then takes the microphone and tells the crowd to acknowledge him, but they are already chanting his name. No sooner has Roman spoken than Randy Orton and Riddle slide in and hit both Jimmy and Jay with RKOs. Orton then points to the stage and Drew McIntyre's music hits, and out comes Drew McIntyre. McIntyre then points the sword to Roman, who looks taken aback. RK Bro then leave the ring and leave Reigns to McIntyre as they start throwing hands. Roman beats Drew into the corner, but the tables turn on him. The Usos then return to help their Tribal Chief, but RK Bro also gets back in the ring, and there's a huge brawl that is ensuing. We come back from commercial break, and the brawl is just completely over. Just cookie cutter like it usually is. You know, it happens all the time when it comes to these types of segments. People come in, people come out, there's a brawl, commercial, and it's over. This was just a complete waste of everybody's time, and this is how you build your 6-man tag match main event for WrestleMania Backlash. You could have just left it all fucking alone and did the unification match for the tag titles. But no, you have to make this into a worthless 6-man tag with no championships on the line. The world championships aren't even on the line. The tag titles aren't even on the line. It's not even a winner takes all match. It's legitimately just nothing on the line. 6-man tag between the Bloodline versus Drew McIntyre and RK Bro. Absolutely pointless match. What's there to fight for? What's there to accomplish? Seriously. What's there to accomplish? Absolutely nothing to accomplish in that 6-man tag. And it's ridiculous. We then had, when we came back from commercial break earlier on today, the Street Profits were backstage talking to Ezekiel, who was then interrupted by Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens. They appear and they accuse Ezekiel of lying. Gable shushes everybody and says that none of them are smarter than him. He did his research and found out that lie detector tests can be faked. Owens then says they're going to find a new way to prove that Zeke is a liar. And the Prophets say that the three of them will meet Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens later on tonight in their 6-man tag team match. They throw the red Solo Cup into Ezekiel's face and they run off. We then had the match. Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens versus the Street Profits and Ezekiel. This is 6-man tag. It's a 6-man tag. There's nothing really of importance here. And the thing is, we're getting this at WrestleMania Backlash with just the Usos, Roman, Drew, and RK Bro. There's nothing of importance with this. There's nothing of importance with this other than Ezekiel and Elias. I was going to say Ezekiel and Elias. Other than Ezekiel and Kevin Owens. Ezekiel and Kevin Owens were really the only interesting parts of this match. The Street Profits are terrible right now. And Alpha Academy, they're great. Both of these tag teams are great. I shouldn't say that one of them is awful. Both of these tag teams are great. It's just when you see them 24-7, I can't stand it anymore. I can't. They need to get them off TV. They need to get them off TV, or at least get them off TV against each other, because it's not working. It's not working. Nobody fucking cares. Or at least I don't. I don't know about you guys. You guys can sound off in the live chat, but I don't fucking care about this match anymore. I don't care about the Street Profits, and I don't care about Alpha Academy. I don't. The dynamic doesn't even work between these two tag teams anymore. Get them off my TV against each other. Please. That's all I fucking want. Final part of the match. Otis broke up a pinfall and tosses Ezekiel out of the ring. Otis then catches forward and throws him over the top rope with an exploder suplex. Otis is then sent out by Dawkins, and Owens then sends Angelo out. Owens and Ezekiel brawl in the ring until Owens rolls out, and Gable grabs Zeke from behind and eats an elbow. Zeke then hits the ropes, but Owens trips him, and Gable hits a roll-up for the win. 1, 2, 3. Alpha Academy and Kevin Owens pick up the win in this match. Big whoop. Big whoop. If we get Owens versus Ezekiel at WrestleMania Backlash, fine. Put that on the goddamn pre-show. Put that on the goddamn pre-show. Kevin Owens should not be deserving of the pre-show, and I understand that, especially with Kevin Owens and the way that he's kind of carrying this Ezekiel stuff right now. But this does not deserve to be on a fucking D-level pay-per-view like this. This D-level pay-per-view known as WrestleMania Backlash should not even fucking exist. It really shouldn't. I'm so heated. I'm so heated with the way that this company operates. Really. Because none of this matters. None of this matters. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from with this. Because honestly, I don't I don't know how any of this can really be entertaining. I like this whole Ezekiel and Kevin Owens thing, mainly because Kevin Owens is really carrying the whole goddamn thing. Ezekiel, well, I'm telling you this, Elias is playing this Ezekiel thing really well. He really is. Like, at least I can give him that. The thing is, he's doing great with this. Kevin Owens and Ezekiel are doing fantastic stuff with this, but what's all this going to accomplish? What's all this going to prove? What's all this going to do? What happens after this? That's what I want to know. If anybody can't really explain the payoff for this, I couldn't even think of the word payoff. If anybody can't even think of the payoff for this, then what's the point of it happening? I have these questions, people. I would like some answers. Not from you guys, obviously, because you guys are the same as me. We're trying to figure out what the hell's happening here. But it's WWE that needs to do the fucking payoff for this, and they don't even know what it is, probably. That's the problem. That's the problem, because they don't even know. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. Veer Mahan took on Burt Hansen in another squash match. This thing sucked. Veer is completely worthless to me now. He does not even have any type of interest whatsoever anymore. And the thing is, Veer, no matter how many times you put him in squash matches, until you put him in the ring with somebody that is absolutely credible and can actually put him into a good match, just get Veer off my television. Get Veer off my television, because there is nothing that Veer can do that is going to make me more interested in him because of the way that they're booking him. And that's it. That's it. Veer looks fantastic. He has the look. He has the power. He's doing everything that he can in order to get himself over as a huge heel in this company, but there's no intrigue. There's no interest. Nobody cares about Veer Mahan, especially when you put him against jobbers every single fucking week. We have not seen Dominic. We have not seen Rey Mysterio. Where the fuck are they? Where the fuck are they? There's nothing. There's nothing important to this. Until you can put Veer Mahan into a match with a legitimate and incredible superstar, we don't know what this guy could be. You can put him in squash matches all you fucking want, but that's not going to prove to us anything about Veer Mahan. Yeah, sure, he's powerful. Yeah, sure, he's big. Yeah, sure, he has $1 million arm clothesline. That's what he calls it. But these squash matches don't need to happen every week. They're pushing it like Tromel said, and it's just really getting on my nerves. And the thing is, the crowd is absolutely fucking dead too. The crowd was mostly dead the entire night, but when you're debuting somebody like Veer Mahan and the crowd is already this fucking dead, there's a problem. Then again, you don't have the people that he was feuding with on TV. You don't have Dominic Mysterio, and you don't have Rey on TV anymore. You don't have him on TV, so you either get him into a legitimate feud with somebody, or you get him the fuck off TV, or you don't even have him on TV. It's just as simple as that. There's nothing. I don't have anything against Veer personally. It's the way that WWE operates this shit. Every single time a big man operates on Monday Night Raw, you have him be put in squash matches over and over and over again until you're just fucking bored. Veer Mahan is going to be on that budget cut list one way or another. If not this quarter, the next quarter. It's legitimately going to happen. And when it happens, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm not going to be shocked because Veer Mahan, they don't know what to fucking do with him. They don't know what to do with a guy like Veer. And the man looks absolutely great and jacked, and he's fantastic looking. But does WWE care? No, they don't. And they'll show you that they don't care by having him be put in squash matches and then firing him the next quarter. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how bad they treat their talent. Burt hits Veer, which gets him thrown across the ring. Veer then runs Hansen into the ropes and then goes to deliver a knee against the ropes. Then does it 3 more times. Veer then whips Burt to the ropes and hits a body attack, and then delivers a nasty clothesline, the $1 million arm clothesline. Veer then jumps on Burt's back and applies the cervical clutch for the tap out immediately, and Veer Mahan picks up the win. After the match, Veer then attacks Burt one more time, and he puts him in between the ropes and applies the cervical clutch once again, and Burt passes out. What the fuck was the name of this enhancement talent, by the way? Are we doing something like Burt and Ernie or something like that? Is next week's going to be Ernie McIntyre or something like that? Seriously, Burt and Ernie showed up on Monday Night Raw tonight, and it's fucking ridiculous. Sesame Street is on Monday Night Raw. I'd rather go to Sesame Street than watch anything Monday Night Raw related. Jesus Christ. Sesame fucking Street on Monday Night Raw. Sunny day? Yeah, no, it's not a sunny day. It was a goddamn rainy day all day today, and you know what? That showed with how bad this fucking show was tonight. This shit was fucking disgusting. Oh yeah, 100% true, man. 100%. Then a report will come out about him underperforming when the real issue was his booking. Exactly. You got it right on the nose right there, man. You got it right on the nose. We come back from commercial break, and Edge and Damian Priest come to the ring. The fans boo, and Edge stares them down as they boo some more. Edge says that this is Judgment Day. He knows most of us can't stand to look in the mirror and we don't like him anymore, but that's because we hate ourselves. Oh, I hate myself every single time I watch Monday Night Raw, Edge, so you kind of got me there. He says it's a miracle that everybody in North Carolina can put on their shoes, waddle outside, and count high enough to even find their seats tonight. Kind of like that. Edge then says that if he could sustain a sports team, which they can't, they'd be known as the Greensboro Lemmings, and then Edge begs AJ Styles to stop fighting. He says that Edge is rushing, and he says that AJ is rushing headlong into pain and judgment at WrestleMania Backlash. The fans chant, "What?" and Edge calls them stupid peons who can't hear. He tells them he loves the boos, and they get louder. He says that he knows the stipulation Styles got for tonight, but he's about to witness the darkness, and Styles interrupts. So then we have Styles versus Damian Priest, and if AJ Styles wins, Damian Priest is banned from ringside at WrestleMania Backlash. Pretty good match, but it's kind of academic. It's kind of predictable. AJ Styles is going to win this thing here, and hopefully with Damian Priest being banned from ringside, That's the thing. Damian Priest is banned from ringside. They didn't mention anything else about anybody else being banned from ringside. I guarantee you at WrestleMania Backlash, we are going to have the second member of Edge's stable appear on WrestleMania Backlash this week. So hopefully it's either Tommaso Ciampa or Rhea Ripley that interferes on the behalf of Edge, and Edge picks up the victory over AJ Styles for WrestleMania Backlash. And then you can bring in Finn Balor like they did tonight. Finn Balor after the match was with AJ Styles, and now they're going to start that heading into the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. But you got to build somebody else into the stable with Edge. You bring in Tommaso Ciampa or Rhea Ripley, and you get that going right away. So they only said that Damian Priest was banned from ringside. They didn't say anybody else that could possibly join the faction. So give me Tommaso Ciampa interfering on the behalf of Edge to help out in his match at WrestleMania Backlash against AJ Styles. That's what I would do, and that's what I would honestly want to happen. So, Priest lifts AJ up into the crucifix power bomb, but AJ slides off and hits a Pele kick. Styles is then sent into the apron, but punches Priest away, and then jumps for the phenomenal forearm, but nobody home, and Priest hits South of Heaven for a near fall. A very close near fall, by the way. Priest then looks for the ripcord kick, but AJ ducks it and looks for a calf crusher. Edge distracts AJ, and he releases, but then rolls Priest up for the win. And AJ Styles picks up the win as he is barred from ringside at WrestleMania Backlash. As soon as the bell rings, Edge is in the ring and attacks AJ with punches. Edge then tells Priest to hit him with a reckoning, and he does. Edge then brings in a chair into the ring and looks to attack AJ's arm, but Finn Balor rushes out for the save, and Balor ducks a chair shot and attacks Edge, and hits Priest with a sling blade, and Edge and Priest roll out of the ring, and Finn Balor helps AJ Styles from honestly getting his arm decapitated. AJ and Finn Balor are back together. Two former members of the Bullet Club, two Bullet Club leaders. They did it too sweet, and their alliance is formed for this rivalry. I guarantee you we're going to have a six-man tag at SummerSlam between Edge's faction, Judgment Day, and AJ, Finn Balor, and they're going to have to find a third person. That's going to be fine. And they will find that third person. But you have Damian Priest barred from ringside. That's perfectly fine. But you got to get Tommaso Ciampa interfering on Edge's behalf at WrestleMania Backlash, so then you can build that six-man tag at SummerSlam. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. If you want to do the tag team match at if you want to do a tag match at Money in the Bank, that's perfectly fine. Even though I think Finn Balor and AJ Styles could honestly be better used in a Money in the Bank ladder match sort of situation, but that's just me. If you want to do the tag match at Money in the Bank between Edge and Damian Priest, or if Tommaso Ciampa does interfere on Edge's behalf, you can have Tommaso and Damian be the tag team of that stable and go up against AJ and Finn. That you can do perfectly fine. And then you can have that six-man tag at SummerSlam. Even though I would love to personally just see Edge and Cena at SummerSlam, but that's just me too. Maybe Cena could even be involved in that AJ and Finn stuff. Who knows? But at the end of the day, I think you do the tag match at WrestleMania. You do the singles match between Edge and AJ at WrestleMania Backlash. You do the tag team match at Money in the Bank, and then you do the six-man tag at SummerSlam. and then that's it. That's the end of the feud. Get it off my TV. You're fine. I don't even know who wins at that SummerSlam. Honestly, I'd have Judgment Day win that because you need Judgment Day to actually be something credible. So you do that. What does this do for Finn? Not much. Not much, really. Finn's probably going to lose this, too. I honestly think Finn Balor might be cut. If you guys saw the video when it comes to the releases from the NXT releases on Sunday, yesterday, 2 days ago, by the time you're seeing this now, I think Finn Balor might be cut in a quarterly budget cut releases kind of thing very soon because of the way that they've been treating him over the past couple of months and honestly years. Finn Balor has not been used to the fullest potential, as we all know. Finn Balor in WWE terms is old, and even though he's really not, he's in his 40s. But that's old to WWE's eyes, and they are not really looking for these oldies anymore, as it does not really look good for Finn Balor. Finn Balor is absolutely phenomenal at what he does, and we all know that. But if you look at the track record with the way that Finn Balor has been used on WWE TV, with the less than 2 month championship reign for the United States title, and everything else that Finn Balor has kind of been used against for his WWE run over the past couple of months, Finn Balor is not really going to be having a job in WWE that much longer if they continue to do this. It doesn't really do much for Finn, but it gives him at least some kind of storyline to say, hey, if you're going to fire me, I'm going to go out on top, whether anybody likes it or not. And he's going to give us a hell of a match or a hell of a performance whatever he's doing in this feud with AJ, Edge, and Priest. So I'm all for him. I think he really does deserve a ton more than what he is getting right now, but if this is what they have planned for him on his way out, so to speak, let's say, let's see what happens. I really don't trust WWE as far as I can throw them, but let's hope that this is not the end for Finn Balor, because I really like the guy. I really like him. The man has been absolutely fantastic. I've watched him ever since his whole NXT days, hell, even before that in New Japan, as he was Prince Devitt over there. Everything about Finn Balor has been phenomenal. It's just over the past couple of years in WWE, they just don't care. They don't care about him, and that's the thing. As you want to know what really started it all? When he had to relinquish the Universal title. When he had to relinquish that Universal Championship because he had his shoulder separated in that match against Seth Rollins to become the first ever Universal Champion, he had to relinquish it that next night. Ever since then, honestly, to me, that's where it all kind of started. That's where it all kind of started for Finn Balor's kind of downgrade. Then he went back to NXT to try to revitalize his career, and he did that. But then once he got called up again, it was done. It was over with from there, because then they really had no idea what to do with him there. They gave him to Roman Reigns. They legitimately fed him to Roman Reigns, and then he never recovered since. It sucks. It really does suck. I love Finn Balor to death. I do. It's just the way that WWE is run now. They don't care about guys that are over 40 years old or just turning into 40. Damian Priest is 39 years old. What happens when he turns into his 40s? What happens then? Are they going to say that he's not cutting it anymore either? This company. We had this stuff between Omos, Cedric Alexander, and MVP. We all know what happens here. Cedric said that he has a match with Bobby Lashley tonight, and MVP says that he'll be watching. That's it. Time for another edition of Miz TV. Miz says that this week he is honored to have a guest that is a rising WWE superstar, and that is Theory. However, his show was hijacked by the return of a man who is his guest tonight, and that is Mustafa Ali. Miz says that he's happy to see Ali and mocks his name. Ali's microphone is not working when he is trying to speak, and Miz pretends that he is surprised. Miz says that he is that's pretty disrespectful. Just like how Ali interrupted him last week, Miz says that Mustafa was desperate because the WWE Universe forgot that he existed. As Ali is angry and the microphone is still not working, The Miz tells him to go on Twitter and complain about it. Ali then takes Miz's microphone and says that the only thing that everyone has to complain about is that the fact that Miz still has a job here in WWE. Ali then says that when Miz feels his voice is not being heard, he rushes to the back and complains to management, while all Ali does is go to us, the WWE Universe. Theory then comes out and says that there is something that the people need to hear. Last week, Miz had a match with Ali, and he wasn't even prepared to do so. So, I talked to Vince and made this match official. And he made the match stricken from the record books. Miz thanks him him and Theory, says that it's gonna be okay because tonight we have a championship contenders match. And Theory says that Ali is entitled, thinking that he's going to show up for the first time in a year and a half and get a title shot. Ali then says, listen, you're talking too much. He says that he wants a title opportunity one way or another. He wants to fight for it. Theory says that that's great because he's going to have a championship contender match tonight on Raw. Theory says that, listen, it's not just going to be a normal championship contender match. It's going to be a handicap match. Theory and Miz versus Ali. And that match happens right now. So a 2-on-1 handicap match, championship contenders. Theory and The Miz take on Mustafa Ali. This match is a complete waste of everybody's time. A complete waste of everybody's time. I'm happy that Theory and Miz kind of won here, mainly because if Theory lost this, usually championship contenders matches mean one thing and one thing only: the champion loses. Theory and The Miz won here. Okay? So Mustafa is not going to be going after the United States Championship, unless for right now. I like Theory. I like Ali. I think that match would be absolutely fantastic. I don't know why we wouldn't get this match at the pay-per-view. But I'm glad we didn't get this right now. You're gonna have to build this, and if you want Ali to be something in WWE, you can have Ali win Money in the Bank again. Not again, but you guys get what I mean. Money in the Bank 2019, Ali was so close to reaching that Money in the Bank briefcase until Brock Lesnar showed up and won the Money in the Bank briefcase back in 2019. You can have Ali win Money in the Bank again to prove that all those years ago WWE was right in pretty much trusting him. Austin Theory is a great guy. He has the look, he has the absolute charisma about him. And Vince sees something in him, and I see something in him too. I see your comment, Tromil, saying that you don't know what WWE sees in Austin Theory. I do. A lot of people are comparing him as like a John Cena type, and the thing is, I think that's way too far in advance right now, but I can totally see it. Austin Theory has the look. Austin Theory has the charisma. Austin Theory has that way of carrying himself about him that you can totally see something as a future face of the company. For sure. If you see that, then you know exactly what WWE is really thinking. But if you don't, it's just the way that WWE is going about it right now. Austin Theory could be a future face of this company. And I'm honestly not even opposed to that because I know Austin Theory is great. I know he is. So we'll see what happens. If Mustafa Ali is going after the United States title or if he's going to be in Money in the Bank again, I don't mind any of those situations. So we'll see what happens from there. But I hope they're doing Mustafa Ali right this time because, man, it's ridiculous with the way that they're pretty much holding him hostage until his contract runs out. Because we know Ali's not going to resign back. Once his contract expires, we know he's not going to sign back. So we'll figure out what he does from here on out, but that's what happens. After the match, Theory and The Miz pose on the ramp and take selfies, but Ciampa attacks Ali from behind. Again, just like last week. Hopefully this Ciampa attacking people randomly is just going to lead to Ciampa joining the faction. Please, just do it. Just do it. Because Ciampa, you're already getting that sadisticness about you again. Sorry. You're already getting that sadisticness about you again. Just go for it. Just join Edge's faction. Join the other side. Join Judgment Day. You're good to go. Just do it. Just do it. And if you actually want to put Ali into, well, there you go. You have Ali be with Balor and AJ. There you go. There's your 6-man tag right there. Edge, Priest, and Ciampa versus Ali, Finn, and AJ. You can do that. You can do that. Honestly, that's not even that bad of an idea. That's really not. I think I might actually have something there. So we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. 24/7 title garbage. Nikki A.S.H defending the 24/7 title against Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke won the championship. That's all. I really don't even want to go over the 24/7 title garbage because that's exactly what it is. 24/7 title is a fucking shitter. How much do we actually have left? We got that match, and then that match and the main event. We're actually almost out here, guys. So Becky Lynch is backstage for an interview. She says that last week she went out to the ring and told the world that she had hit rock bottom, only to be interrupted by Asuka, the woman who she legitimately handed a title to as she was leaving. She told Asuka to go be a warrior while she was going to be a mother, and she kept her end of the bargain. But Asuka didn't uphold her end of it. Well, this is a comeback story, and it all starts with ending Asuka. Oh, Nikki is on 0-11 this year. She's cut. See you later, Nikki. I was saying this to myself while I was watching Monday Night Raw. Nikki A.S.H is good as gone. She will be a part of the budget cuts. She will be a part of the budget cuts, and that's. I never want anybody to lose their job, but you can legitimately see the way that everybody's being treated and the way that WWE is just going about things. You can legitimately tell who they're going to fire, and Nikki's going to be one of them. Nikki will be one of them. She will be. Becky is terrible on the mic. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but she is. Get her off my TV. She's fucking terrible. This wasn't as bad as I thought it could have been, but she's still terrible. She's still bad. And that's saying something. We come back from commercial break, and her husband, Seth Rollins, is in the ring for Seth Rollins' Appreciation Night. He says that the celebration for Randy Orton last week, it got him to thinking that he needs a celebration of his own. And it's going to be for somebody that actually deserves it. They need to celebrate a visionary, a trendsetter, a sex symbol, and a revolutionary. The spotlight appears on Rollins, and he basks in the fans singing his music. Rollins is loving it all, enjoying the fans singing his music, but then the fans start chanting Cody, and he gets annoyed. Rollins then says that he speaks of the Rollins says, "Speak of the devil. He tried to steal the spotlight at WrestleMania." Well, at Backlash, he is going to show the world that that can't happen because Seth Rollins is the damn spotlight. He tells the fans to shut up. Rollins then says the fans have forgotten just how good he is. They're all caught up in the stupid American nightmare crap and forget that he is the standard bearer of the company. Seth then says that it's fine because he loves to remind everybody how good he really is. He had a highlight reel put together to showcase his greatest moments of his entire career from beginning to now. When Rollins points to the screen, Cody Rhodes' music hits, and he comes out to the ring. Seth then says, unless he is out here to give him flowers, he can shut the hell up and get out of his ring. Rhodes then says, by all means, congratulations, Seth, because he is great. But what is going on here? He says that we're all bearing witness to some unraveling at the seam of Seth's mind. It seems that their WrestleMania match was weighing on him like albatross, and since returning to WWE, he's been nothing but courteous and professional. My bad. Professional. My bad. Jesus Christ. But he feels that Rollins is about to cross the line and he will regret it. Cody says that Seth is delusional and Rollins gets hot. Rollins then says that that's rich coming from Cody. You see, Dusty Rhodes wrestled in this very building probably thousands of times. But the problem is, with Dusty, is that he was delusional. He wasn't as good as he thought he was. Dusty wasn't going to be WWE champion because he was never that good enough. And as long as he was in WWE, Cody will never be good enough either. Rollins then attacks Cody, and the brawl starts off in the ring until Rhodes hits a Cody cutter and Seth rolls out of the ring. Seth Rollins, bringing some personal stuff into this. I like that. Dusty Rhodes wrestled in that building many times. We know this. Cody Rhodes, the next generation of the Rhodes family. Cody Rhodes wants to win the World Championship for his father because his father never got the chance to. I like everything that they were saying here. Everything that they were saying here is absolutely perfection when it comes to the actual build-up of Cody Rhodes' story and the way that they are going about this. This is perfect. This is fine. I like it all. Hopefully Cody Rhodes wins at WrestleMania Backlash so that we can get through this and that we can have possibly Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam for the titles. That being said, it's up to WWE. It's not up to me. If it was up to me, you guys know my booking decisions, and you guys know the way that I would do things right now. I've been telling you guys how I would do things on this podcast for over 176 episodes. For 176 episodes exactly, actually. Just like, it can all be interconnected if WWE wants it to be. You just gotta have a brain in order to do this, and with my brain being one of the smartest in the wrestling TikTok community, as well as the rest of outside the brand, you guys know how great wrestling could be in the WWE if WWE could actually have a brain in order to book it. So we'll see what happens. But I really do expect Cody and Seth to kill it again at WrestleMania Backlash. I think this match is going to be great. Hopefully Cody Rhodes just picks up the win there for the match at Backlash. Bobby Lashley and Cedric Alexander was merely a squash match. MVP was on the stage, just continuing to talk trash to Lashley, who thinks about going after them, but he stops himself. Lashley then hits a spear on Alexander and then gets into the hurt lock as he's staring at MVP and Omos. Cedric immediately taps out, and Lashley does not let go. And we come back from commercial break. Liv Morgan is being interviewed backstage. She says that she ambushed Ripley last week for all of the revenge that she is seeking. She thought that they were a great team, but Ripley turned on her and said that she wasn't good enough. She doesn't believe Ripley is even angry at her. She thinks that Ripley is angry at herself, but she won't take the brunt of Rhea's anger. The announcers run down the entire card for WrestleMania Backlash, which takes place this Sunday, and will have and obviously Ringside will have live coverage of the show, but that's neither here nor there. It's time for the 6-woman tag match. Becky, Rhea Ripley, and Sonya Deville taking on Asuka, Liv Morgan, and the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Match is not bad. Match is not bad at all. This was obviously the longest match of the night, and deservingly so, even though nothing really was important for this match, considering that we still have no Raw Women's Championship match at WrestleMania Backlash. And with this just being absolutely unimportant, who cares? Who cares? There's no Raw Women's Championship match on WrestleMania Backlash. Yeah, you had the match between Sonya and Bianca. I believe last week was their show in Knoxville. Why did you have it last week when you couldn't have it at the pay-per-view? That's what I fucking don't understand about this company. You have this whole open contract challenge shit thing, right? And you book it for the next week's show when you could have just booked it at the pay-per-view. Now you have no Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania Backlash. That's your fault, WWE, not ours. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You couldn't just wait a week? You could not have just waited a week for Backlash? It's ridiculous. But Deville comes in and joins Ripley for a double suplex for a near fall. Asuka then tags in and lays some kicks to Deville, knocks Becky off the apron, and hits a shoulder tackle. Asuka then kicks Ripley in the head and blocks a kick from Deville before landing a German suplex. Asuka with a running knee for a near fall. Morgan then blind tags in as Asuka hits a running dropkick to Deville. Morgan then hits Deville with a recoil on the outside and then gets her back inside the ring. Every woman rushes into the ring and lands a move on each other, and they all get thrown from the ring one by one. Deville and Morgan are the last two legal superstars in the ring, and Sonya Deville hits a roll-up for a very close near fall. Deville then hits a knee to the jaw and covers, but Liv Morgan kicks out, which was a very, very close near fall. I thought that was actually going to be it, and the heel team was going to pick up the win, but not yet. Liv then hits an Oblivion and actually picks up the win. Liv Morgan pinned Sonya Deville and Bianca Belair. Liv Morgan and Asuka pick up the win to end Monday Night Raw. Raw ends with them celebrating with all arms raised in the air as the show fades to black and goes off the air. Like I said earlier on tonight, guys, this show was absolutely fucking disgustingly pointless. And this was boring. There was nothing important on the show. And this is the final go-home show before WrestleMania Backlash. There is nothing on this show that was absolutely important. And there's nothing at WrestleMania Backlash that is going to be relatively important other than Edge and AJ Styles and maybe Cody. And no, it will be Cody versus Seth. Those two matches, Cody and Seth and Edge and AJ, are the only two matches I'm honestly looking forward to, mainly because of those storylines and how important those storylines are. The six-man tag main event between the Bloodline, RK Bro, and Drew McIntyre is not important. It's really not. No titles are on the line, so who the fuck cares? SmackDown Women's Championship match between Charlotte and Ronda. I believe it's an I Quit match. Who the fuck cares? I hate both women. Ronda's winning that anyway, so who cares? That was a cool spot, by the way, Joe Tromo. I will say that. That Liv and Asuka spot was a really cool combo right there. But everything else on WrestleMania Backlash is completely pointless. I'm going to read you guys the card right now, because honestly, the show, if you missed this pay-per-view, I would not be mad at you. I really wouldn't. If you guys did not even want to watch the pay-per-view, but just watch us to do the review of it, I would not even be mad. We are going to be doing predictions for the show on Saturday, so go check that out when it is Saturday. We'll probably be doing it later on in the evening, or once I get home from work. So you guys will definitely be seeing that. But we have 6 matches on the card. Only 6 matches. Charlotte and Ronda in an I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Who cares? Cody versus Seth Rollins. That's going to be a good one, so I'll be fine with that. 6-man tag between Drew and RK Bro versus the Bloodline. It doesn't mean anything, but I'm going to be watching it because it's Romans. Edge and AJ. Damian Priest banned from Ringside. I'm going to be watching that because it's only Damian Priest banned from Ringside, not anybody else. So hopefully somebody else is joining Edge's faction. Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss. That's your fucking go-to-sleep match. You can walk the dog. You can change the litter box. You can take out the garbage. You can legitimately do anything in place of that match, and it's going to be more entertaining than that. My hair's gone absolutely crazy. And then Bobby Lashley versus Omos. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? This entire show is completely pointless other than Edge and AJ and Cody versus Seth. That's it. That's it. This is legitimately one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen. Just goes to show you how bad WWE is right now, man. Just really goes to show you how bad WWE is. But yeah, guys, that's it. If you guys like this, please hit that like button, subscribe, click on the bell for all notifications, follow me on social media. All the TikTok links are down in the description below. Go to bonfire.com. All the links for everything is down in the description. Bonfire.com, the exclusive home of Outside the Brand and its merchandise for t-shirts, hoodies, and much more. Tune in tomorrow for Tuesday's talk, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow for Tuesday's talk. I'll talk to you guys then. Have a good night, guys. Have a good rest of the night, and we will talk to you tomorrow on episode 177 of OTB. I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. Peace. We the ones.